Hello everyone! My name is Raymond, and I'm a game developer and the creator of games like The Street King and Left Turn Legend. For the most part, the majority of my work focuses on larger projects which span over several months or years and have a high level of polish and content. However, I've also done a number of smaller games for game jams and other events with a limited amount of time and a much smaller scope. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at one of these games, No Beaches. No Beaches is a 3D top-down boat fighting game with multiplayer and CPU opponents. You can try it for yourself over on my website, although it is only playable on computers. Before we get started, I'd like to give a special thanks and shout out to WaveCollapse for helping me with this video. I couldn't have recorded the multiplayer portions of this video by myself. WaveCollapse also develops games, so if you like my content, be sure to check out their YouTube channel on itch.io page as well. I've linked them in the video description. The goal of No Beaches is to beach or capsize all of your opponents without getting your own boat disabled. Besides just pushing each other around, players can also use boosts in order to shove other boats with more force. If your boost meter fills up fully, using boost will activate Big Boost mode, which makes your boat even faster. Besides islands in the water and the surrounding beach, there are also buoys and mines which spawn periodically. While the buoys don't actually do anything and are just for show, mines will explode on contact, launching boats into the air. The longer a match goes, the more mines will spawn, making the waters more and more hazardous over time. Players can use controllers or keyboard input, and there are 4 difficulty levels for CPUs. You can configure any combination of players and CPUs, including no players. It's possible to have a 4-way CPU-only battle. As you can probably tell, No Beaches uses a low-poly, flat-shaded art style which is pretty similar to that of Left Turn Legend. Unlike Left Turn Legend, however, No Beaches uses a considerable amount of procedural generation. The terrain and the water are generated by code, and the terrain is randomized every time so that 2 playthroughs will never be identical. Terrain generation involves several steps. First, a large flat grid is generated. Next, 2D Perlin noise is used to determine the relative heights of features. Then, the playing area of the terrain is processed to ensure that it is deep enough to hold the boats. Finally, vertex coloring based on the height of the terrain is added in. This all gives the world some more flavor. Water generation similarly begins with a large flat grid. Then, layers of 2D Perlin noise are shifted across the water in order to produce waves. As I mentioned earlier, you can play No Beaches over on my website. Check the link in the video description. If you want to check out my other mini-games, be sure to watch the other videos in this series as well. I'd also like to give a huge thanks to TLM10's Gaming and GrandAm67 for supporting me and my games as King Patrons. If you'd also like to help out, please check out my Patreon page in the video description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.